What's up guys, Truck Farmer here with another video. In this video, I will show you how to replace the front brake pads and the rear brake pads on this 2018 Chevrolet Equinox. This vehicle has an electronic parking brake, and because of that, some additional steps will need to be taken to replace the rear brake pads. The pin for the parking brake will need to be retracted, and this is normally done with a fancy scan tool. But if you do not have a fancy scan tool, I will show you how to do it manually. The tools needed for this job are jack and jack stands. I will need a 19mm or lug nut socket to remove the wheel, and a 14mm socket or wrench to remove the brake. Torque wrench, breaker bar, brake tool to press in the piston, silicone grease right here, and these power tools are not necessary but they will speed up the job. But I will need T30 and T45 to work on the rear brakes. These are the brake pads that will be used. I got these from AutoZone, but I will put a link in the description below if you want to purchase these online. Let's start the process. I prefer to work on one side of the car at a time, so I will be working on the front and the rear brake on the left side, which is the driver's side. I will carefully pull off the front wheel and rear wheel and place under the vehicle for safety. I'll now use the power tool to quickly remove these lug nuts. Now I will place the wheels under the vehicle for added security. Once the front wheel is out of the way, you'll be able to see the rotor, bracket, caliper and suspension. The front brake caliper is held in place to the bracket by two bolts at the back side of the caliper. The bolt head is facing inwards the engine bay. Therefore, I will turn the wheel to the left so I can have easier access to the bolts. Now I will carefully remove the lower bolt from the piston slider pin. Now I can push up the piston. Now I'm going to remove these V-springs and remove the brake pads. These are spreader springs that keep the brake pad off the rotor after the brake pad has been released. Carefully remove the two springs and put them aside to be reused if you do not have new ones. The right brake is not in bad shape. The left brake pad is stuck and it signs that the slider pins are not working properly. I will service these. Now I will remove the top bolt from the slider pin. Now I can remove the brake piston. I will use this strap to hold it in place. I do not want to put any stress on the brake line. Now I'm going to service the slider pins. Remove it and clean off the old grease. Now I will use silicone paste or silicone grease. It has to be silicone, else it will damage the rubber here. Now I will reinsert it and move it around so that it's working properly. Now it's time for the lower slider pin. I will clean it off and grease it up just as good, not too much though. Now I will insert it and move it around and ensure it's moving freely. Now I normally replace these brake hardware, but these brake pads didn't come with any. I could use a wire brush to clean these and then grease it up, but they are pretty clean. Now it's a good time to use brake cleaner to clean this area, but avoid breathing in any brake dust. I will just add some brake grease and install these brake pads. The brake pad with the brake level indicator should go to the inner side. The brake level indicator should actually be at the top, so this one should go to the right side of the vehicle. Now I will install the right brake pad. This is the brake level indicator. When it gets low, this will start touch the rotor and make a lot of noise, which tells you that the brake pads need to be replaced. Now it's time to press in the brake caliper piston. I will use one of the old brake pads to apply the pressure evenly and set up the brake piston tool. But before I start the compression, I will open the hood of the vehicle and loosen the cap from the brake fluid reservoir. While pressing in the piston, look out for the piston rubber booth. Do not pinch it or damage it. Once it is completely compressed, replace the brake fluid cap as soon as possible. Now I will install the V-springs. The V's should be facing each other. Now I can reinstall the brake caliper and install the two bolts. These bolts should be torqued to 20 foot-pounds. I will use this torque wrench. That's it for this front brakes. Now I'll go to the more difficult rear brake. You can use a 17mm wrench or use a pliers like I'm using here. as well as a 14mm socket to remove the caliper bolts. The top bolt is out. Now it's time for the lower bolt. I'll use the pliers again and the 14mm socket. The bolt is out. Now I can remove the caliper. Now this is the electric brake right here. Now I can remove these old brake pads. These are very worn. I'll now service the slider pins. I'll remove them, clean them up, and apply a thin layer of silicone brake grease. Remember to ensure that this is fastened to the booth and spin it around to spread the grease around evenly. Now I will apply some grease to the anti-rattle clips. If I had new ones, I would just replace them. But note that some of the new anti-rattle clips are no good. They are poor quality, so sometimes it's better to keep the older ones. Now I will install the new brake pads. These also come with brake level indicators. The pad with the brake level indicator should go to the inner side. This is the electric parking brake and it is now extended. I will need to remove it and retract it manually. A scan tool can be used to retract the electric parking brake. I do not have a scan tool and I will show you how to do it manually. I will use this T30 socket to remove this bolt right here. There's a second bolt here, but this brake fluid line is in the way. I will just shift it to the side just a little bit. It won't damage or break it. Just take your time and gently bend it a little. I will use this T30 socket to remove this bolt right here. The bolt is out. Now I can remove this parking brake. So now I will use a T45 star socket to pull this back in. To pull it in, I actually need to turn clockwise. I will continue until it stops. Now the electric parking brake is in. Now I can compress the caliper piston. If I didn't pull in the parking brake, this would not move if I try to press it in. While pressing the caliper piston in, I'm trying not to damage the rubber booth. Now the piston is all the way in. Before I reinstall the electrical parking brake motor, I'm going to put the brake caliper back on the caliper bracket and over the brake pads. Now I'm going to use the T45 socket and turn anti-clockwise to extend the pin in here. I will continue to turn until it comes in contact with the brake pad. Now it's in contact with the brake pad. Now I can remove the brake caliper and reinstall the electric parking brake. Before I do so, I will add some silicone grease to this rubber here to help it to seal properly. Now I can reinstall the electric brake motor and install the bolts. I will tighten these but not too tight. Now I can reinstall the brake caliper with the caliper bolts. I will torque these bolts to 20 foot-pounds. Now I can reinstall the front and rear wheels. I'll tighten the lug nuts until snug and then remove the jack stands. Now I can lower the vehicle and torque each lug nuts to 100 foot-pounds. That's it for one side. Now I can go to the other side and do the same. I'll just speed through this section. You can do this job yourself. You don't have to take it to a shop or the dealer. A brake job can be very expensive and they might have you paying for things that you do not need. Bleeding your brake is optional. You will only need to bleed your brake if you believe air or moisture got into your brake fluid. But if your brake fluid was not low and you follow all these steps, you would not need to bleed your brake fluid. Some people bleed their brake fluid every time just to be cautious. After you have finished your brake job, go and check your brake fluid. Ensure that it is at the correct level and reinstall the cap. Now close the hood and turn on the vehicle. Do not move off yet. Do not drive. Apply the brake a few times, at least 10 to 15 times while parked. Now go for a test drive. Drive slowly and gently apply the brake. It will take 10 to 15 miles to fully brake in these new brake pads. So for your first trips, be gentle on these brakes. So that's how you do a brake job on a 2018 to 2022 Chevrolet Equinox without using a fancy scan tool. Thanks for watching this video, guys, but before you go, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. See you on the next one, guys.